Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem RICANS. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone, shalom by Akim, Wakwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to be doing a movie review on the movie Underworld. And initially, I was kind of apprehensive, I guess, if you want to use that term, on watching this, and because I thought it was just something for entertainment, but lo and behold, the Lord guided me to watching this movie, and it turns out that it has some very spiritual undertones in it. All right, it was very good, actually, and as well as the fact that the revelations and stuff like that was very spiritual as well. So I'm gonna try to keep this spoiler free, but definitely go watch the movie instead, because I'm definitely going to have to spoil a couple of things. So basically, which this is an old movie, I'm pretty sure most people would have watched it by now, but anyway, regardless, basically, to start out, when we're introducing the movie, it's like these two separate factions are warring with each other. They just hate each other for apparently no reason. And what we do know as the movie progresses is that as a vampire, you're not allowed to dig in history and try to attempt to find out who started the war and all that stuff. You're just supposed to genocide all the werewolves. All right. Now, with that being said, as the movie goes on, which it's very akin to kind of like, and it's like, this is why I really applaud this movie. I really like this movie and how it was made, because the way that they went about the details was by doing it like in like these subtle ways, very slowly. Like, here's one piece of information, all right, and then here's another piece of information, then here's this whole synopsis. Well, there's the whole story, the main story of what the vampires know. It was all at the very first minute of the movie, and it is up to us to kind of keep that information, keep that knowledge intact, to further support our exploration, our experience, as we learn the truth and more of the details, along with Celine, who's the main character. All right, so it was very well done in that aspect, because we saw the bits and pieces come out, after like every 20 minutes or so, and something like that. Like, oh my God, there's this? Wait, so this person is alive? Oh, this thing is this? So this person did that? This is the history of this, and the third, and whatnot? And, all these things were actually, I have to say it, they were all very well put together to make a very cohesive and satisfying ending. All right, it was a very satisfying ending to see all that stuff, brought out and put into place. All right, like I very much so enjoyed the movie. I only saw the first movie. I've not seen the rest of them. Yahawadah, I might watch more, but the thing is, usually they sequels don't always do the movie justice. So I don't know. I might like it more. We'll see. Anyway, continuing on, let's get into this, because one of the things that I had noticed was that they had a Jacob and Esau type dynamic with the vampires and the lichens, because they all branch off from one common ancestor, which is Alexander Corvinus or something like that. I forgot his name. And he had two sons. One was bitten by a werewolf. The other one was bitten by a vampire. And then that was like, or one was bitten by a wolf. Another was bitten by a bat. Not vampires or things. And that's what created the two separate to the two warring factions. But the war actually started from characters that were actively, 2 characters that were in the movie, that were still in the movie and not in the history of the things regarding the 2 brothers and the actual main guy, Alexander. All right. So slacky about all that, but let's get into these scriptures. Genesis chapter 25 verse 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So basically, the parallel to this, to Jacob and Esau, is how you have these 2, well, they apparently, it seemed like vampires were superior. I don't know if they're the older brothers or younger brother, but vampires are superior, and as a result of that, they would make lycans slaves. And there was this one, and as a result of that, there's a whole bunch of ill will and hatred towards one another. They were already always warring and fighting against each other as a result of some of these 2 particular characters. There's one big vampire boss and one big werewolf boss. All right. So yeah, like these are the stuff that was basically going on. All right. Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanities, and things wherein there is no profit. And this is where another parallel lies, where these vampires have such strong loyalty to their boss. When their boss lied to them, their boss even ordered them, they're not allowed to dig into history. They're not allowed to attempt to learn about what happened all the way back when. And with that, it's building this false narrative that the vampires are just supposed to, because the vampires, they don't feast on the thing, they just kill them. They kill on the werewolves. So it's just like they don't really need to do it, but other than the fact that the werewolves hate the vampires, and they want revenge on them, to be precise. All right. So with that, where is it? So yeah, so with that, they have these lies that they're following. The vampires have these lies that they're following, while the lycans or the werewolves, they are justified in wanting to fight back. They're justified for wanting to preserve their own lives, and stop the genocide that the vampires are doing to them. All right, which is similar to Jacob and Esau, where we are being genocided by Esau, Edom. They're being killed for no reason, and it's just like Esau does not want to know about the past, not as much as they don't necessarily block it as much. Like it's available, it's there to be searched up for yourself if you want to. But Esau, like they're slowly getting to the point where they just don't want to talk about it, because that apparently that white guilt, all right, is starting to get to them. The Lord put that spirit on them for them to feel some sort of white guilt. Even the people that, even the more racist ones, they don't even like discussing it. Sometimes they won't even feel like justifying it themselves. They just say, oh, you're always bringing the race card, this, that, and the third, because they're really trying to deflect and to remove it from their mind, because it feels it, because they know that what they did is wrong. They know that that's wrong. They know that if the roles were reversed, that they would want things to be done right. They would want things to be fixed, but they didn't. All right, but they didn't. But they're not fixing it. Slocky. So they're not fixing it. They're not doing anything as a result of that. All right. So hold on. So Slakia, basically, it's like this was what was going on, where we are in this thing of the parallel being, we're being attacked or being killed off simply because they just hate us, just as the vampires just simply despised the werewolves simply because they were told to do it, and the boss, the top dog, just told them, go kill them, just go kill them. This is your job. You don't need to know why. Just go do it. All right. So, yeah, that was basically a big aspect to it. Let's move on to the next one. We have Romans chapter 1 verse 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. All right. So basically in that same way, how Esau changed the image, the truth, YAHAWASHI of YAHAWAH into a lie, all right, to Jesus and God, all right. They're making people want to worship them, or thinking this they are the proper thing. Their image is what needs to be worshipped, rather than the true image and what really happened, the true identities of Yahweh Yahushai, all right, and how they are, destroy. They are, and that's another thing. As a matter of fact, funnily enough, it fits perfectly, because due to iconoclasm, they make the image of Yahushai a white man, when in actuality, he's supposed to be a so-called black man. But people they don't care about those details, and they will continue to claim that he was a so-called. There's many people that still claim that he was a so-called white man. Okay, he's a so-called light skin, all this different stuff. All right, even the rest of the people in the Bible, even the Egyptians and stuff like that, saying, oh yeah, people way back when, they were white people, they were this, that, and the third. All right, he's constantly wanting to prove that type of world view, all right, but yet they don't want people to go and learn the truth. They don't want people to educate themselves on what actually was, all right. And as a result of that lie, they're going to be judged by Yahweh. Now, Romans chapter 9 verse 12, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. All right. So another aspect of that, which let's go back to Genesis, is Genesis 25 verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right, which it goes. This is in the parallel. All right, not parallel. Slakia. With Jacob and Esau, Jacob is supposed to be stronger, and apparently, if you really want to go into the details of the underworld world, it is even more so spiritual, because literally speaking, the werewolves are actually stronger than the vampires, which I think that's a crazy comparison. It's also crazy that they actually went that route of making the werewolves literally stronger. There are some vampires that are stronger than werewolves. I will say yes, but that's an outlier. The average werewolf is stronger than the average vampire. All right. So with that being said, the reason why I bring that up is because of how it draws an even bigger parallel, because the reason why the vampires are able to rule is because they have more reliance on technology. They do all these different things. They do all these different technological advancements of getting these. They had silver or bullets that had actual liquid silver in them. They were doing all these different stuff to advance their technology in order to better fight with that physical disadvantage that they had on average. So that also ties into Esau Edom, where Esau Edom, he doesn't rule because he's stronger than us. He rules because he has technological advancements. Which, funnily enough, I will also add that Esau would say that being able to outsmart your opponent means by extension that you are just overall stronger than your opponent, but that's not the case. We are talking about in general physical capabilities. All right, obviously there is different strengths to be seen, but we're not talking about intellectual or even strategic. With that being said, though, the difference between us and the the werewolves, all right, and how we still hold true to still being stronger, even in strategy against Esau Edom, is only when we are at our peak, which isn't physical, all right, but spiritual. Our link to YAHAWAH and His is when we are at our peak, even if we are 100 years old and weak and decrepit, or a young child like King David was, where he beat he beat Goliath, all right, a man who was several times his size, okay, not off of his strength or his war strategy alone, but simply because YAHAWAH was backing King David. All right, so this is what sets us apart from all our other nations. So on top of the fact that we are physically the strongest, the Lord amps us up even furthermore by just through His divine intervention. Which, as a matter of fact, let me get an example of that. All right, is it Joshua? I think Joshua. Yes, Joshua chapter 10 verse 11. And it came to pass, as they fled from before Israel, and were in the going down to Beth Horon, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them unto Azekah, and they died, and they were more which died with hailstone than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. So basically, that was the thing. That was the power, if you want to call it that. Yes, that was a power that the Israelites had, where we had our strength not in our physical capabilities, because even this example, we didn't beat our enemy ourselves. It was YAHAWAH who had done most of the work. He did most of the heavy lifting. So whether it be King David's situation where the Lord makes the circumstances right for us in our weakness or in our disadvantage to still beat our opponent, all right, the Lord still makes us find a way, and there also another example is this of just the Lord just literally doing divine intervention to work to kill our enemies by Himself, literally by Himself. All right, rather than letting us do it. Okay, now finally, Ephesians chapter 4 verse 22, which that just goes to show how the difference between us, even though werewolves are below them, but they are going through a carnal parallel rather than a literal parallel. All right, now Ephesians chapter 4 verse 22, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man which is corrupt according to deceitful lust. And another thing that I really liked about the movie was, as I was watching it, as I was learning through Celine's perspective, things were starting to be like, okay, well, as I feel like I'm learning the truth just like her, and I'm seeing these different things that making me come to these revelations and realizations. All right, I'm like over here like, wow, like, so this is wrong. Like, I know who the right side is. I know who's the good guys right now. All right. So like that's where I felt a lot more spiritual, and that's where I was like, it clicked in me a lot more. Where I was like, wow, that I did watch this because this was worth the watch, and I was able to make that. It was kind of like I was coming back into the truth I was coming into the truth for the first time yet again. Like that's how it felt like to me as I was going. And very seldomly do I ever feel. I don't even think I've ever seen a movie that has made me feel that way before. All right, so that just goes to show it was a very well put together movie. All right, so with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, above the ball, and Shalom.